Hello everyone, and welcome to the second episode of our social media experience between myself, Adrian Smolski, and Mr. Steve Capper. Today we want to cover a couple of major impacts in the pre-sales world, which have been going around in the last couple of years. We will focus on pre-sales needs and changes which we are observing. And lastly, we will provide an update of where we are at the Umdenken. So with that, I wanted to touch base on the pre, during, and post-COVID periods in the pre-sales world. There is a common terminology of COVID fatigueness or COVID fatigue, which occurred in the last few years, whereby, or what we understand under that is that we were jumping from one meeting to another meeting, restricting ourselves with the ability to follow up on customer requests, restricted times on technical evaluations, to a degree some technical evaluations, totally got minimalized and disappeared, and we focused on presentations. There is another shift which is required today from remote working, because most enterprises are actually calling their professionals back to the office. As a matter of fact, at 61+%, that is occurring today. So there is a shift needed for pre-sales people to get back to the pre-COVID times, to traditional pre-sales activities. Additionally, we got impacted by the generative AI movement, which is there. So there is a possibility for us to consider time management, productivity increases, in regards to follow-ups, in regards to POCs, which we are doing, or even just pitching a presentation to a customer. With that, I wanted to hand over to Steve to talk about the changes and the needs in the market and for pre-sales people today.
Adrian, thank you. Well, as Adrian said, my name is Steve Capper, and many of you probably know me. Maybe some of you have even been on my classes. But my topic at the present time will be to talk about pre-sales needs and changes. And the first topic that I'd like to address is the outcome from the training that we will be delivering and have been delivering in the past. It's all about a new way of thinking. It's all about understanding not just the consultative sale, but moving significantly away from what some people call winning the technical sale. We're going to be understanding and working more closely with salespeople, thinking with salespeople, and having what we're calling a strategic partnership together with the customer. We will be thinking a lot more about how to understand the delivery of value and what is value. We think of the Harvard Business Review triangle, the value triangle, that talks significantly about the many aspects of value. And we on the class are going to be focusing a lot on the value that we deliver, how the customer saves money, how they increase revenue, how they move into better market positions, not just productivity or increased efficiency, but to the next level as far as that is concerned. We're also going to be arming the pre-sales people with the ability to work with senior directors and CXO type people. And if you think of those people, many of those people have got into that position because they're very good at telling people what to do and delegating. And if you're with a CXO as a pre-sales person, you put that CXO in that position. So you ask them, what do you want from us as a vendor? Not telling them about our wonderful product, not telling them about our wonderful solution, but putting them into a situation where the CXO says, I want you to do this. We're also going to be looking at some major impacts as far as the behavior of pre-sales people. For example, the ability to listen, the ability to understand that in any interaction with the customer prior to a presentation or a demo, any interaction, we don't talk at the customer. we listen to the customer. In any meeting with the customer, if we talk more than 42 seconds, then that meeting is a failure. Major concepts. We're also going to look at 2 or 3 major foundational concepts. Number 1, stop talking to the customer and start listening to the customer. Number 2, stop loving your product. The more you love your product, the more you talk about your product, and less about understanding the value the customer wants. And the third foundational concept is if we don't know why the customer is buying, then we are wasting our time. So they are major factors. We're also going to introduce a new concept, and that is a concept called the strategic partner. We want to move away from the word trusted advisor. I think that term has had its day. A strategic partner is someone who has skin in the game. A trusted advisor is someone who advises the customer in a certain direction. A strategic partner will walk down that path together, letting the customer know the strategic implications of a specific decision. As we move forward, we'll give you some ideas of what entails a strategic partnership. And one of the controversial subjects that we will introduce moving forward is, for example, in discovery, having done discovery, we will publish or annotate the outcome, send it to the customer, and allow them to think about giving that to other vendors in the process, because we want to have a partnership and we want customers to be successful. Adrian?
Thank you, Steve. A couple of words on where are we at the Umdenken, and a little bit more in regards to the classes. I like the notion you made, Steve, about not talking to the customer. So, for example, we will not dive into in the classes on how do we do presentations, how do we talk about our product. We will focus on behavioral and transformational skills you will learn in these classes. It's a coaching class. We will focus in these classes in 3 ways. One class will be, the first one will be for product vendors. That is, the name is Elevate Presales Impact. This is really around the behavioral and transformational skills we need to learn. The second one, which I alluded, is a cutting-edge technology around, or assistance around generative AI. We call them Prodigy Gen. This is really about understanding what is generative AI, or what is artificial intelligence. How do we develop that in a product? So we really take it to the foundations to understand when we talk about generative AI functionalities in our solution, we have to understand how do we get there and how do we develop that in order to develop with the customer a situation where they trust you and they see you as that strategic partner. And the number 3 class, which we will be offering, is really for those professional services vendors. We call them system integrators, services partners, and that is called a Partner Adaptability Accelerator. So many of you in the partner world are very familiar on how you position billable resources, how you deliver results and success for your customer. But really the blend between a product vendor and the way the product vendor positions their solutions and interacts with the customer is not so different to how partners of the software vendors should do that. So there's the 3 classes which we will be launching. Right behind me, I have the URL of the Umdenken website. I'll put that down in the description as well. In a few weeks, we'll be launching, and you'll be able to find many other additional information. And I really like what you just said, Steve, about the shift from a trusted advisor to a strategic partner. We will also make resources in form of blogs available on our website. We will continue doing those social media experiences, and hopefully you can find a blend of all those resources, which at the end of the day, the pre-sales community and all our peers should benefit in being successful and grow in their roles. With that, Steve, any final remarks and words of wisdom?
Adrian, thank you very much. So let's finish with a couple of concepts regarding pre-sales. Just remember that it's the best job in the world. And your ability to listen to the customer, your ability to understand the value that they're looking for, and our ability to articulate that value in the form of decreasing costs and increasing revenue is absolutely critical. And we look forward to interacting with all of you as we move forward. Adrian?
Thank you for that, and see you at the next episode.